Well, the markets are roiling and, of course, waiting for the much talked about 1st of August, as promised by US President Donald Trump, where he's going to impose harsh tariffs on America's trade partners. Yesterday, we saw a dramatic and what Trump referred to as a historic trade agreement between the US and Japan, where the US is going to, or Japan is going to make major concessions, investing about $500 billion to the American economy, and the terms of these agreements will be dictated by Trump. Shares, of course, are reacting to these agreements. And of course, we're keeping an eye to see what kind of agreement will come out in the coming days. Good morning and thank you very much for joining us. It's now 10 a.m. here in Nairobi. Well, it's a beautiful morning. The sun is out. And here on BizCheck, we're going to discuss critical issues that are going to shape the economy going forward. On the first hour of this show, we'll be discussing the domestic tourism. You see, its contribution to the overall tourism market is about 50%, and the government is looking at ways of deepening this critical industry. If I was to give you some global statistics, in the first quarter of 2025, world tourism market grew by 5%, and outbound tourism was about 300 million visitors, and so you're looking at about almost 1.2 billion tourists were expected to travel around the world. So we'll be looking at strategies, of course, of deepening domestic tourism here in Kenya. I'll be joined by industry players who have an idea of what's happening in the market. And of course, in the second hour, we'll be looking at medical tourism. Oh yeah, so it seems like today our focus is on the tourism industry. Kenya has laid out critical and proper plans to deepen medical tourism, and about 10,000 medical visitors come to Kenya for medical purposes. How can we push this number to about 100,000? Good morning and thank you for joining us. You're watching BizCheck. We are live from Broadcasting House. This is our national headquarters. And of course, our reporters are on the ground tracking the happenings around you. We are live from Broadcasting House. I'm about to introduce to you my list of guests for this morning. And of course, the show is on domestic tourism. I'm joined by Mike Macharia. He's the CEO of Kenya Association of Hotel Keepers and Caterers. Thank you very much indeed, Mike, for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course, next to Mike, we have Fred Kaidua. He's the CEO of Kenya Association of Tour Operators. Fred, asante sana.
Thank you, Brian. Happy to be here.
I want to start with you, Fred. Give us a feel of how the domestic market is faring now.
Thank you, Brian. First of all, thank you for inviting us for this show. Domestic tourism is, as you've rightly pointed out, a very important component of the tourism sector in any economy. Ideally, in a good economy, you should be running about at least 40% and above. So currently, I think I would say that our domestic tourism is on an all-time high. The numbers we are seeing, I think, have actually been much higher than we have seen before. Mm-hmm. And this one we can partly attribute to the shift that occurred around the 2019 COVID pandemic, mm-hmm. when the airports were shut down and the only tourists that were available were domestic. Yep. That allowed a very concentrated focus on domestic. Not that it was not there before, but this time you really had to work with it. So whatever was perfected around that time is working well. Domestic tourism has bounced back quite well. It's mm-hmm. actually doing much better than it was before.
So have we gone back to pre-pandemic levels?
We have surpassed pre-pandemic.
We have surpassed. What is driving this growth?
So many factors, and I think my colleague here, Mike, will be able to better expound on some of them. Mm-hmm. But we have seen a lot of infrastructure improvement in the country in recent years. Mm-hmm. The SGR, I think, was particularly a contributory factor. Prior to that, when you thought of going to Mombasa, it would be quite a task. But right now, you can pop down in 5 hours assured and be there at this particular time. Mm-hmm. We also have seen a shift and an improvement and a lot of changes in the hotel sector. Mike will talk more about that, mm-hmm. with the packaging and the kind of offers we're seeing. And the Tourism Board has also done some bit of marketing mm-hmm. With campaigns like Tembea Kenya and other areas of the sort. Mm-hmm. So domestic tourism has acquired a higher profile, riding on the momentum it picked up during 2020. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mike, Do you agree with his sentiments that the market has rebounded to actually surpass pre-pandemic levels?
Yes, O'Brien. I think first of all, as my colleague says, COVID was the best thing to happen to domestic tourism because since 2008 we came up with a plan, a domestic plan. We had a marketing plan.
Yeah.
And all the messages were going out to the market.
That was in 2008.
That was in 2008, right after post-election
the post-election violence.
And the reaction was very lukewarm. But somehow COVID seemed to have kick-started that plan because of the lengthy lockdowns. So when people are set out, they said, hey, look, we need to see our country. And the plan that revolved around COVID because of travel restrictions was to concentrate on domestic, then go regional, then go wider Africa, then go back to international. And that seems to have worked. The other area that has worked very well is actually government. I know there's a lot of issues that are going on around what government is doing, but if you look at the primary spend on conferencing by government and government agencies, that has been huge over the last few years, particularly from 2022. So you add that to the leisure travel, and you find that we are doing pretty well on domestic. But obviously we can do better. For a country that has 60 million people, we need to be looking at around 10% of our people traveling domestically, and that's about 6 million.
10%?
Yes.
How many people are doing domestic travel now?
Right now, numbers could be between 500,000 to 800,000. There's also...
So we haven't even clocked the 1 million mark?
Not as yet. Yeah, and the target would be something like 2 million in the short run, because we are looking at an international target of 5 million. So if you're looking...
This is by the year 2027?
By the year 2027. So if you're trying to get to 5 million international, you need also to push to around 2 million domestic tourists, because it is possible. It's just that there's a lot that we need to do in collaboration with the government, which we are doing as an industry. And of course, the investors in the sector to come in and give us more products. The county governments, for example, and I'll give you just one quick example. The county of Homa Bay has some serious tourism attractions. There is that Ruma National Park, which has one of the rarest gazelles, breed of gazelles. Yeah. We have places like Rusinga and so on. And we're still not doing much to promote domestic tourism from a county level. We may think that we are doing a lot, but we still need to do a bit more.
Very good. We'll be coming back and we'll be finding out what is the role of county government in promoting domestic tourism, because they are key cog in driving domestic tourism. But we just want to dash to Radisson Blue, where the IGAD Eminent Personalities Conference is taking place, and the chairperson of the IGAD Eminent Person Council of Kenya, this is Major John Sei, is speaking. Let's listen in and then we'll come back.
Sometimes we think of those which are far away. We think of Middle East, we think of Ukraine, or somewhere in West Africa, or somewhere in the Pacific. But right here at home, in our region, IGAD, we have enough in our hands to cause us who are here present to think and say and ask the question, what are we going to hand over to our grandchildren? Are we going to give them a tattered region, or we will restore tomorrow for our children and for our children's children? And these problems cut across. Some are natural, some are man-made. When floods strike, when famine is there, and people move from one place to another, when climate change affects our cycle of planting crops and so forth, imagine how even development itself is devastated. So we are not only thinking about the peace between ourselves, not to fight against each other, but also how to harness what we know to deal with those areas which are natural, so to speak. And so as we sit, we need to come up with a strategic plan of action. And that action has to be based on that indigenous knowledge we have. And the knowledge we have is not from a book written by a scholar from the West or from the East, but written by our scholars of old. The knowledge and wisdom that has been bestowed upon us, and it has been diluted by what we call the acquired knowledge from the West, sometimes puts us in a very awkward situation. But we need to come out of the old box of the Western conceptualized way of dealing with problems, but come home. In Kenya, we have many tribes, but there is one common ground. When it comes to peace, there is no peace but peace. Ethiopia, many tribes. South Sudan, many tribes, and so forth. When it comes to peace, it is nothing but peace. No peace belongs to another group which does not belong to the other. Otherwise, it is not peace. And so, we call upon ourselves in a city.
Well, that is exactly what is happening at the Radisson Blu, where the eminent personalities and the IGAD are meeting, and that is the chairperson of the Eminent Person Council of IGAD, Kenya's representative, Major John Sei, giving his speech there. I mean, our reporter, Regina Manyara, is there. She'll be giving us more update in our subsequent coverage. We are back in studio. Our conversation is how to drive domestic tourism. We're in the company of two great players in this critical industry. Mike Macharia, the chairperson or the CEO of Kenya Association of Hotel Keepers and Caterers, together with Fred Kaigwa, the CEO of Kenya Association of Tour Operators. Before we went for that break, you talked about the county of Homa Bay and what's doing to popularize what would be considered its rare gem. But when you look at the counties, because they are supposed to be key drivers of domestic tourism, bearing in mind that they are the custodians of county assets, are they doing enough to promote domestic tourism?
We do feel that, sorry, the county governments are doing their bit, but more can be done. In terms of product mapping and also highlighting what products exist in certain counties. And if you look at Kenya, right from the coast to the lake, there are so many products. We have mountains, we have a desert. In fact, the original desert safari was Kenyan in the 70s. It was just picked up by Dubai. We have caves up in Mount Elgon. We have natural lakes, all Bolosat in Nyandarua County. So the counties need to be able to come up, and particularly at the Devolution Conference, they should have a special section on investment in counties and how we can drive investments into those counties to complement those products. You find that there are places that have very good natural products, but they don't have the matching investments in those counties. For example, the one I've just given, Homa Bay, bed capacity is very low. So even if people wanted to visit as a group, right now they're coming up with a devolution. The devolution conference is taking place there, I think next month. And it's going to be a struggle. Some people will have, yes, some people will have to stay outside of the county to get there, which is good because it supports other counties. But we should be able to have counties that, have the capacity to handle the tourists. And the lowest hanging fruits is the domestic traveler, because they're easy to get from one place to another, because of our road network is fairly good if you compare it to the late 90s. So the domestic traveler is able to get from one county to the next. Excuse me. And at the same time, they are not susceptible to external input like travel advisories and such, because they are Kenyans. So it's very easy. As we discuss that, then we can take the conversation to region, because we do believe that there's a big opportunity there.
You see, when you look at the investment that the government has done, especially for the road subsector, in the last 10 years, we are talking about more than 1.8 trillion Kenyan shillings that has gone into improving our road infrastructure. And you're right, I mean, right now you can easily travel from Nairobi to many parts of Kenya, you know, with ease. You can either use you can fly, you can use a train, or you can even use roads. And this is opening up regions that were hitherto unknown. For example, I'm seeing a lot of people now doing travels to Chalbi Desert. About 10 years ago, I bet probably maybe a quarter of the Kenyan population knew that we have a desert in the name of Chalbi. And so clearly the national government is doing a lot. But Fred, when you look at the county government in terms of investment in infrastructure, marketing initiatives, promotions, do you see this happening?
As my colleague Mike says, they're doing something. But in any activity you do, you're always well advised to collaborate with others who have a similar interest. At Kato, we have set our eyes on county tourism, and we are looking at a journey of product discovery, where, as Mike mentioned, there's some counties that are holding some gems that they may not understand the true value of and have not actually brought them out in a way that would attract visitation. So it tends to be a collaborative effort. They have the product, they have people in charge of telling us about those products. We need the product to sell to our clients, and we have a tourism board that is marketing the country. So I see it as a tripartite collaboration between the product owner, the operators and the hoteliers, and the tourism board for marketing. But left on their own, I don't think they are going to be able to achieve the full potential, because you need help. In every sphere of activity, you do need help from others who have a similar interest as yours.
You see, when I look at Kato, you know, this is an institution that has been there since 1978?
66 to be precise.
1968. And you have a network of more than 300 members.
Yes, we do.
And so this is an institution that you cannot wish away when you talk about developing tourism in this country. Have you seen any attempts by county governments to reach out to organizations like Kato for partnerships to drive tourism?
Yes, we have had initiatives raised by counties like Nakuru, recently Laikipia. But tourism, as my colleague will attest to, sometimes works in a circuit basis. If I had one product, say, in Isiolo, and the other product was in Namanga, I'm not marketing the two across that way may be a bit of a challenge. So it works best if you work in a circuit. And right now we are setting our eyes on the Western Circuit, which, as Mike has mentioned, has a lot of interesting issues. But a number have not reached out, but maybe due to lack of information. But we are reaching out. We have actually set a program where we're reaching out county by county, delve into the product portfolio, look at access and connectivity, and see how to best push it. Because remember, our members also need a product that they need to refresh regularly to sell. So you keep on selling the same thing, you may not get new visitors. You need to sell something different to bring back the first visitor. So we have a very connected need. They need to sell, we need to sell. So we are reaching out even to those who have not spoken.
Look, last week, was it last week or this week? I mean, we saw the Kenya Wildlife coming up with new park entry rates, whereby, for example, Nairobi National Park, you pay 1,000 shillings if you're a Kenyan or a resident of EAC. And if you're a foreigner, you pay 10,000 shillings. Nakuru National Park, I think, is 1,500 for locals.
$80. Yes.
They're justifying this by saying that the last review was done 18 years ago. And let's face the reality, inflation has also kicked in, global warming, and so much. What is this likely to do to the domestic tourism, Mike?
Okay, first of all, quick addition to what Fred said. We did, after the 2010 Constitution kicked in 2012, we set up what was known as the Tourism Network under our umbrella organization, KTF. And the purpose of that tourism network was actually to map out the various counties and look at which counties can collaborate with one another. And that's what gave birth to the Jumuiya counties of Pwani, where we had the 4 or 5 counties of coast get together. We had the North Rift tourism circuit, NOREB. We had the Western Circuit, and so on and so forth. So in terms of collaboration and reaching out, we have reached out and we continue to reach out. Now, coming to the issue of park fees, yes, there is an increase proposed.
Yeah.
On the one side, we know conservation is very expensive, because it's a full science. You need to have a lot of capacity around wildlife conservation. And when you look at what KWS is proposing, given that 18 years have lapsed, what as industry we would like to see is probably some regular engagements where you can raise rates gradually. We do it in our industry, like now in the hotel industry. To cater for inflation, we look at various factors, and we ask ourselves, how are we able to deliver this product profitably and affordably? And you find that you probably need sort of like a 5% increase year on year. And of course, when the economy is strong and there's a reduction, then we pass it on to the customers. So this is what we'd like to see, even in the conservation area. Let's not wait 18 to 20 years to come up with a review. I know Fred and I will be a bit careful to discuss that topic now because we are going into public participation.
Very good. I want you to hold your
thoughts
on that issue. We'll be coming back to more, because we just want to go back to Radisson Blu, where the IGAD eminent personalities forum is taking place. We have Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Dr. Koril Singh now speaking. Let's listen in.
Put IGAD on a solid footing, and by ratifying it, our parliament was reaffirming the fact that not only is Kenya a founding member of IGAD, but that Kenya associates itself fully with the objectives of this great institution. IGAD sits at the fulcrum of peace, development, empowerment, and transformation. Over its lifetime, IGAD has been a force multiplier, helping us navigate as a region together within our diversity, helping us navigate very, very complex peace and security challenges. Through IGAD, we were able to navigate the complexity of the breakdown of the Somalia state. Through IGAD and with IGAD, we were able to work together as we struggled with the Sudan situation as it was then, giving rise to the birth of a new nation known as
Well, we seem to be having a challenge with the network there. Once the network is stable, we should be going back to Radisson Blue to listening to that forum. But we are back here in studio. Here we're not having challenges with our network. We're in the company of two great men who have been in this industry for many years. We were discussing the proposed new rate to enter our national parks as proposed by Kenya Wildlife Service. You are saying that you're not in a position to discuss these because it's subject to public participation. But we are here on this show. I mean, the issue is not in court, so it will not be a subject judice. But I want to hear from you because as key players in this industry, your voice is very critical in shaping narrations around tourism in this country. From where you sit as the CEO of KTHC, what is your opinion? Is KWS justified in raising this rate? Is it coming too late in the day? Is this something that we should have done long time ago?
I think, O'Brien, first of all, let me just, to make things clear, we as an industry are not opposed to the increase. Increases will happen, reductions will happen. And when reductions happen, like they have happened before, you remember the government waived visa fees for families to jumpstart tourism. And KWS came up actually with some incentives to drive numbers out there. So we are not opposed to the increase. What we like to see happening where IGAD and where stakeholders and you the areas. Like now I'll give you an example. If you go to the coast region, there's a marine park there. That people don't seem to know about. They think that you just...
There are actually 5 of them,
yes, yeah, they think you just go and swim in the ocean and go back. But there's a full marine park there that is protected, you know, along the reef. And there's a lot of science behind conservation within that marine park alone. Probably more than even what you utilize in the parks. It's arguable. So we do understand that conservation is expensive and we need to conserve our environment so that we can bring in tourists. So we are not opposed to the increase. The thing is that we just need to discuss and ask ourselves which is the best entry and at what time. And the timing is the most important for us because we go out contracting for periods of even of 2 years. So you may be having 2 operator contracts existing outside the country and also in the country that are running for the next 2 years. So we sit with the agency and discuss and tell them, hey, look, why don't we implement it in this way so that we can also take care of our contracts? Because if we don't, like has happened before, you find that the operator or the investor ends up taking the burden because you cannot go back to the client and charge for it. So in a nutshell, we are okay with the process. We are happy that it's happening now, that we can be able to discuss it before the next calendar year, and we will have enough time to go out to our customers and tell them the outcome. And we are happy with what KWS is doing.
Yes.
Brian, I think for me maybe a bit of perspective. When the Director General of KWS attended the KATO AGM last year, he indicated that KATO members generate about 70% of his tourism revenues.
70%.
70%. Actually, he said 80, but I'll be conservative and say 70.
Yeah.
So that increase you're talking about, 70%, will be generated by KATO members. As Mike pointed out, we're not opposed to the increase. I don't think I'll be able to give you a KATO position because I have those who support it and those who are unhappy with the quantum. But in general, yes, we appreciate that the Kenya Wildlife Service is a custodian of some of our very prime resources and they need money to run. The challenge, I think, came from that long gap, those many years, and then you catch up with the rest. For instance, Samburu is charging 85, Narok is charging 200.
85
60 actually, and moving to and you're still below most of the other players, but you've done like a 60% increase. So when you look at the quantum, you can go into shock. But you look at the absolute value, it's relative. So we have those who are not happy and those who are unhappy. But when you get public participation, we shall discuss the issues and we'll come to an agreement. The key challenges was, when do you start? You can't start this year. It should be next year.
It should be next year.
Yes, so that was what the key problem.
Let's first of all, compare ourselves with some of our regional peers. And I would just want to take, for example, Rwanda. Rwanda is a tourism market that is coming up quickly. It's picking up very fast. And for example, to go to Rwanda to do what we call gorilla tracking, an international visitor will pay $1,500 as entry fee. So that's about almost 170,000 Kenya shillings. That is one person. East African residents will pay $200. So, 1,000?
Yeah. About 26,
25, 26. Yeah. How much would you pay to watch the Big Five in Masai Mara?
$200 for a non-resident.
$200.
$200, then $3,000 for
3,000 for non-residents.
For Kenyan.
So have we underpriced our product?
I don't think so. First of all, the example you've given, gorilla trekking is done in a place known as Volcanoes, north of Kigali. It's a place. It's actually west of Kigali, a place known as Musanze. Now, if you stand on top of Musanze the hill itself, the Volcanoes hill itself, you're looking at 3 countries. You're looking at one side of the triangle, which is Rwanda, another side of the triangle, which is Uganda, and it is known as Bwindi National Park. It's the same thing. And the other side is DR Congo. Now, the thing with DR Congo is that the forest bed is very long. It runs about 200-300 kilometers. So it's not really possible to go trekking because you have to go through the forest first. So the easier places are Bwindi and Musanze. Now, the same product in Musanze is sold at probably $700, half the price in Uganda. So what's my point is that it's where you want your product to enter. And possibly the reason why the Rwandans do that is because they're a small country. And if you look at the impact of tourists versus population, I think they are doing 1 to 7 for now. We are doing 1 to 60. So we have an opportunity to get more tourists into our country. So what we should be doing, instead of looking at one product that is wildlife alone, we look at all the other products we have, and there are many. You can come to Kenya around 47 to 50 times and not repeat a single experience. So, and the numbers going to wildlife viewing generally would not go beyond 500 to 600,000 in 1 year in Kenya. So where will the other 5 million go? 4.5 that you're looking for to fill the numbers. So you need to come up with size may be limited in coming up with multiple products. So situation is different here. The level of taxes that we pay, the number of licenses, for example, a hotel pays before you even start January 1, 32 licenses.
That you need?
Yeah, that you need to just operate that year. So there are many other macro aspects that come to play. And then you don't want to also outprice yourself out of the market.
I want to hear these, Fred. I mean, he talked about, developing various products so that you create a different experience, for different visitors. When you look at a Kenyan traveler, what kind of experience are they looking at? Do they want to go and see the Big Five? Do they want to go to the beach? Do they want to go boat riding, mountain hike, or what is their experience?
Yeah, I think that's a very good question, O'Brien, because if you look at some of the hindrances we have, one of them is awareness of what there is. Mm-hmm. If you asked just an ordinary, take 10 Kenyans on the street in November and ask them where you're going for Christmas, I'm willing to bet 7 of them won't be able to answer that question. Yeah. They have not made, and the 3...
They just want to go and swim.
They want to go somewhere. They've not decided. Some people make a decision mid-December. Mm-hmm. So the issue of product diversification and the offering to make it available is actually going to be very critical. But that has to go hand in hand with awareness. As Mike mentioned, there are products already existing now mm-hmm. that we don't know about. Nobody has brought them to the fore. Mm-hmm. So Kenya is very blessed with a wide diversity of products. Our issue is trying to map them out properly and then looking at how do you put this onto the face of the traveler. I remember looking at my Facebook one time and I saw a group that was traveling on a bus tour that was offered for ticket on bus. You just book a ticket, meet up with a whole team of people, and off you go to a particular destination, mm-hmm. and you have fun for the weekend. I didn't know about that because there's so much to offer. How are we putting it on the table for you to be able to know, I can do this, I can get to that product, this is how I go there. So I don't think we're short of products. Mm-hmm. I think our problem is how to map them and how to put them on the table, and information on how to access those products and the cost. Mm-hmm.
I want us to go back to Radisson Blu, but when we come back, I want us to spend the next 25 minutes or so, giving Kenyans tips on where to go, how to go, and what to experience. True. We just want to create that awareness. I mean, you're watching us live from national headquarters. This is KBC. And of course, we want to take you back to Radisson Blu for that IGAD Eminent Personalities Forum. And right now we have the gender CS. She's now speaking. So let's go there and listen in, and then we'll come back.
You champion the inclusion of youth and women in Track 2 mediation, an initiative that recognizes how equally vital is our shared cultural heritage, arts, and traditional practices have long served as bridges between communities and offers time-tested mechanism for dialogue and reconciliation. We propose a bold regional framework that harnesses our collective wisdom systematically. I invite you to envision with me a diverse regional roster of eminent persons, senior women and men, youth and elders, all working to identify, mentor, and elevate credible mediators in Track 2 efforts. Picture with me modular, gender-sensitive training in negotiation, psychosocial support, and trauma-aware facilitation delivered from capital to village. And I emphasize that. Let's move from here to the villages, creating networks of preventive diplomacy practitioners. We propose cross-border mentoring that links senior mediators with emerging women and youth practitioners across our region. This initiative will employ rigorous evaluation mechanisms aligned with Kenya's gender-based violence framework, measuring equity, inclusion, and impact in our preventive diplomacy efforts. The government of Kenya proudly backs a region-wide initiative on youth and women inclusion in Track 2 mediation, preventative diplomacy, and peace building. At our recent National Gender Sector Working Group meeting, I reaffirmed our commitment under His Excellency the President, William Samoei Ruto, 9-point agenda for women, including domestic care policies and economic confronted us with the harsh reality of appalling rates of femicide, with 5,578 women and girls taken from us in the year 2024, and it continues. Each number represents a life lost, a family shattered, and a community where preventive diplomacy has failed at the domestic level. This stark reminder drives our agency to harness collective wisdom before conflicts escalate. Regionally, we anticipate in IGAD's relaunched Women, Peace and Security Forum and recently hosted the Regional Dialogue on Gender, Land and Climate Resilience in Nairobi. Kenya will engage fully in upcoming high-level platforms. The IGAD Youth Forum on Peace in Entebbe, the UNAU Women's Forum in Addis Ababa, and a continent-wide Youth Peace Conference to be convened in Nairobi later this year. Each platform amplifies our collective wisdom for regional stability.
Well, that is Hannah Cheptumo, the gender CS, speaking at the ongoing IGAD Forum for Eminent Personalities. We're back in studio. Our conversation is around domestic tourism. We're in the company of Mike Macharia as well as Fred Kaigwa. They're all players in the tourism industry. I'm just going to give you a time. In the next 20 minutes, we're going to spend it advising our people where to go, how to go there, the best time to go there, and what you're likely to see. Who wants to go first?
I think I'd like to go first.
Yes, very well.
Thank you, Fred. Before I venture in where to go, I think I would like to look at some do's and don'ts to really benefit from domestic tourism. Because I look at what I was calling the 4 A's of domestic tourism. The issues that the first one I think is awareness. Coming up nowadays, now for the access is also opening opportunities for members, and
so you don't need a 4x4.
Not too many of
unless maybe you're entering into
inside you would,
yeah.
But then there are others who offer the 4x4 at the gate.
So you can drive your small car
to the
gate,
yes,
and then at the gate you hire.
Perhaps the lodge can pick you up, or Mike can mention to that. But the issue of access, as the roads improve, opens a lot of opportunities, even for transporters to operators to bring small groups together, because it's opening new products.
Yep.
Then we have the issue of affordability. And here's where the elephant in the room. Due to what people perceive as low disposable incomes, you might find that tourism does not rank as high in the pecking order of essential services. But there are those of us who spend in one weekend more than you need to do a holiday. Just hopping from one pub to the next, from Friday to Sunday.
What do you call bar hopping?
Bar hopping. The amount you spend on that weekend.
Is it also another form of domestic tourism?
No, domestic tourism, you must go outside your habitual domicile.
Right.
You must move to another. You can't domestic tourism in Nairobi, no. So
you can't jump from, let's say, Nairobi West
to
Nairobi East, as you say, I'm on domestic tourism.
No, you need to leave your regular domain.
Very well.
So the amount we spend by hopping on a weekend could actually finance a small holiday. Just that you think it's expensive. So that affordability is something that brings us to the last point, which is attitude.
Attitude.
As Kenyans, I don't think we have a culture of saving for holiday. We save for everything else, but you'll never save for holiday. You start trying to put together a holiday at the last minute, but now there are those who offer options where you can say, lipa pole pole. Start paying in January for December. Trying to finance a holiday in December is very expensive. And that's a thought you need to start in January. Our tourists save even for 3 or 4, 5 years to come to Kenya. Some even save for 10 years for that one safari. So that attitude of this is luxury, save for it, and you'll be surprised how much you can do. So once you have gone around those inner constraints, then now you can be able to appreciate more how you can step out as a domestic tourist. And one point I'd like to raise, using a tour operator is not as prohibitive as people think. For two reasons. One, that person has contract rates that gives them a lower price than you would get. So they can actually sometimes even give you a better price than you walking in direct to the hotel. And they have the resources to plan for you and to mitigate in case something goes wrong. If you go on holiday on your own and the car breaks down, what happened? You're stuck. But if the tour operator has taken you, they are responsible to bring you back. So I would urge Kenyans to consider engaging a tour operator and just say, can you give me a quote for my holiday? Then you can compare. You might find that you might get a better deal than doing it yourself. Yes.
Like on average, if somebody wants to like take a safari to Masai Mara as a domestic tourist, how much on average, how much would that cost you?
That's a very difficult question, and Mike will step in on that, but it depends on where you want to go. I recently saw a post, and I even had to call someone to ask, where a hotel advertised a room rate of $3,500 per person sharing per day.
That is $500?
Yes. So
that's almost 360,000
per person sharing.
Per person
per day. So depending on where you want to go, which hotel you have chosen for yourself, depending on your budget, is it camping? Is it a lodge? Is it a luxury lodge? Do you want a private minibus? Do you want to fly in? Those factors go to the safari, and you can get a basic safari or a very expensive one. So I've seen people offering Mara for about $200 a day, all inclusive.
$200, all inclusive. Yeah. So that's
basic
about
accommodation,
20,
transport. Yeah.
That's about almost 60,000. I mean, not 60. 25,000.
But you're talking basic. You're not doing luxury, but you're in the Mara. You have a place to stay. You have transport. So it depends on your pocket and your desire. What do you want?
Very well.
The only challenge I would say: don't look for this, and you pay this. You'll be surprised.
So you need to cut your clothes according to your size.
Exactly, and
don't
be very
go for luxury if you cannot afford it.
Exactly, and don't pay cheap thinking you're getting luxury.
No way.
If you want luxury, pay for it.
You get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for. Yes, that's the advice I would give. Yes.
Quick off your mind, I want you to point to Kenyans. You have 3 minutes. I want you to point to Kenyans 3 new tourism experience that they can immerse in, apart from going to Mombasa to sunbathe.
I would probably look at something to do with cultural tourism.
Cultural?
Yes, cultural tourism. I once had an occasion to immerse myself in what I thought I'd get bored within 2 or 10 minutes, and I was there for 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yes. It's an if you go to the cultural experiences, which are in some of the regions, you'll be amazed how much of culture we don't know about and how much culture we have lost.
Like where would this be? Turkana?
Mombasa has some cultural villages. Mara has a cultural village. We have some, I think, even in Nyeri, I've seen some. Samburu.
Yeah.
Practically most of the regions, Amboseli, have cultural experiences. And there are some tourists who come in purely just for culture. We also have homestays coming up very well. If you think a hotel is very expensive, there are people who build...
These are not your average Airbnb.
No. Some people build huge mansions out there in the village, and they're just waiting for someone to occupy them for a very affordable fee. Of course, now that would not favor the hotel, but homestays...
But it's a good option for somebody.
It's a good alternative where you actually go and stay in somebody's huge mansion that remains empty most of the year, that has been built in the village. And so you don't necessarily have to look for a hotel if you cannot afford, especially large groups. Domestic, no, our saving budget. But then there are very many hotels Mike will talk about that actually give you a good price.
A good price.
Because the hotel takes care of everything. You're not cooking, you're not cleaning, you can enjoy the experience. The homestay, you have to either carry a cook or do something yourself. So then, of course, adventure. Adventure. There was a group that went cycling in, is it Laikipia? And they really enjoyed it. You have actually an adventure, you're just cycling out in the wild. I went whitewater rafting in Sagana some time back. Of course, it took me quite a while to convince me to get in that water. But there's a lot of experiences that you can do that does not involve...
Did you do bungee jumping?
Hell no.
You wouldn't try that?
No, I watched it.
Yeah.
That's an extreme sport.
Very good.
Yes.
Your 10 minutes are over. Let's go to Macharia.
Okay, thanks. I think Fred has captured most of it. But you'll be surprised at what people are doing out there. There's a friend of mine who's put up a cultural museum in a place called Teto in Nyeri.
In Nyeri?
Yeah.
It's a private museum.
It's a private museum. People don't know about it. It's right opposite Dedan Kimathi College. You'll be surprised. Another one has put up a prayer garden in Sagana. Just a prayer garden where you go and you meditate if you're a
That would also fall under domestic tourism.
Exactly.
Domestic tourism.
And did you know that there are some falls in Sagana in between on the way to Embu from Sagana? There are some falls, beautiful waterfalls that nobody seems to know about, and you can go and spend the whole day. I went there, spent the whole day.
And they are
looking
hotels.
at falls, listening to birds. The hotels are close by. There's a brand new hotel right next to that place called Avai. It's in Kirinyaga County. So there's so many things that you can culture, because we find that most of us don't. So we're finding that your normal traveler, you see, leisure tourism is about feeling good. There's a time I think I was seated here and I said we sell happiness. Yeah, it's happiness.
Leisure tourism.
Yeah, leisure tourism is about happiness. You want to go and be happy. You're unwinding to be happy. And scientists are now telling us about happiness indices. Somebody the other day said you need a holiday, a 3-week holiday, a 2-week holiday every 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, to just
so when do you work?
to boost your happiness index. So it's something that might become a necessity as we go along, as opposed to just something that you do as a break. Now, when it comes to experiences, we've worked very closely with Kenya Tourism Board. There are 2 campaigns that have been running for very long. One is known as Signature Experiences, where you pull out a unique experience, and it is highlighted by KTB. And we've had about, so far, for the last 7 or 8 years that the campaign has run, we've unveiled about 200 signature experiences, unique. All you need to do is go onto the Magical Kenya website and click on Signature Experiences, and you will find them there. There are many. There are so many you can't even finish them. Off the top of my head, I started with Homa Bay County. Yeah. Because I think, personally, I think the Western Kenya is a new frontier for tourism. We will not achieve the numbers without highlighting Western Kenya. Western Kenya has certain issues that need to be addressed. There's this talk of the Nakuru Highway. Yeah, that needs to be done. That's a major urgently. Challenge. It needs to be done so urgently, because it will not only open up tourism along that area, but it will open up also trade. Yeah. And you can imagine when people talk about, I know at times politics come into play, but you can imagine the number of counties that it touches, right from Limuru, from Kiambu, to Nyandarua, to Nakuru, to Kisii, which is in South Nyanza, to Mount Narok on the other side.
Uasin Gishu.
Yes, to Uasin Gishu, to Kisumu. It touches Homa Bay, it touches Bondo, it touches
Busia.
Kakamega, Busia. You know, it's huge. It's a huge thing, and from a tourism perspective, we would really like to see that road complete. Yeah, or even some work starting on it.
Same for Mombasa Road?
Yeah, because it's a big game changer, even for the towns around there. So Ruma National Park, I think people should go there.
Ruma National?
Ruma, they should go to Homa Bay.
This is in where?
It's in Homa Bay. If they have time, go to Rusinga.
Well, they can always create time.
Yeah, go to Rusinga. There's a lot of islands around there.
Rusinga
around
Island.
Yes, there's a lot of good
And
islands.
they didn't go to Takawiri.
Takawiri is part of Homa Bay. Yeah. So these are some of the areas that people should go to. Down at the coast, you said don't mention coast. I will mention it, but not from a beach perspective. Kilifi County has Arabuko Sokoke Forest. You can do walking forest safaris. Go bird watching, listen to the birds. See nature in a forest. It's completely different, and the beach is right next to you. A completely different experience.
And you can sit down for 2 hours, quiet, you listen, you close your eyes.
You go in the morning. It's a walking safari. You enter the forest in the morning. You leave in the evening.
Wow.
Yeah. You leave in the evening. You even have a picnic for lunch. You leave in the evening.
And you're just seeing miles and miles of trees.
Miles and miles of trees. And you know exactly where it is. It's just before you get to Atamu.
Yeah.
As you're
just
driving
next
from,
to Gederins?
Yes, before you get to Gederins. Because Gederins is on the right, the forest is on the left. But this is from Kilifi town towards...
and the road has been expanded.
The road is perfect. There's only one small section that they're working on between Bombolulu and...
the overpass.
And Shanzu. As from Bombolulu to Shanzu. Once that is done, everything else is okay. So you have a good road there. So that's why we are talking about this road to Western Kenya.
Yeah.
The third place that you might want to visit is Lake Ol Bolosat in Nyandarua.
In Nyandarua.
That's my home county.
Once upon a time, it's dried up.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Now it has been restored?
Yes, oh yes, you need to go there.
There are flamingos?
Yes. In fact, they breed there.
Oh.
Yes, they breed there. Because other breeding areas have become a bit hostile. Yeah, so they're breeding there and they're breeding in Baringo. They're no longer breeding in Nakuru. Yeah, because of probably the impact of too many activities around.
So Lake Ol Bolosat.
Lake Ol Bolosat.
And it is in Nyandarua County?
It's in Nyandarua. And if you want to play golf, there's a brand new golf course there known as Kipipiri.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, just before you
but
get to...
But that's a private members club?
No, it's a public club.
Oh, it's a public?
It's a public club, yeah. So you could go to the lake, go and play golf.
Wow. And while there, you can even go up to the Aberdares.
Exactly, yeah. And the Aberdares, that's a whole different ball game altogether. And on the northern side, I had mentioned Sagana and Nyeri. Mount Kenya, still very, very undiscovered by Kenyans. Yeah, you could go there. You don't have to trek up to Lenana Peak. But there are many things that you can do in and around Mount Kenya. Yeah, in Laikipia. Yeah, there's a lot of things to do there.
And you can also play golf.
Yes, there's plenty of golf. You have Nanyuki Club there.
Yeah.
All the way from Makuyu Club. You know, there's
thicker
golf courses,
greens.
there's thicker greens. There's thicker sports club. There are so many clubs going up north, including Nyeri itself. Nyeri has a super duper golf club. Kakamega Forest, for those that have never been. Butterfly watching. It's
butterfly watching.
Excellent.
You know, you spend the whole day watching butterflies.
When we were kids, we used to go and trap butterflies and stick them on our shirts. We didn't know we were actually messing up with the wings, but it's something that I would like now.
That sounds like it's a plan. Butterfly watching.
Butterfly watching. Yeah, it's peaceful. Yeah, and there's a retreat there, a Christian retreat known as Rondo, out there that you can also go. Then Lamu Islands.
Lamu
Islands. The islands of Lamu. In fact, Old Town Lamu.
The challenge has been security.
No. What's it, security?
And the road to Lamu.
No, the road to the security, the insecurity that was there before in these areas of, as you were approaching Lamu, I think the biggest area was Mokowe. That area of Mokowe was the one that had insecurity problems.
From Nairobi.
Around.
Yeah.
There's a small city in the U.S., in Florida, outside Jacksonville. It's known as St. Augustine. St. Augustine is a replica of Lamu. It's a walking street.
Wow.
Yeah, you go there, you spend the day engaging with the ladies who are cooking mahambris on the sidewalks. You eat mbaazi, you know, and the beach is right there in front of you. And you can hop from island to island. You have Manda there that has a naval base. You have Kipungani on the other side. Right north to the bottom when you're going to Tanzania, you have Shimoni. You have Shimoni, and up north where the naval base is in Kiunga. So there's so many places to see. If we are going to discuss places here, O'Brien,
we need another forum.
Whole day.
We need another forum. But let me ask you this, you know, before we wind up, and I'll be having two issues to discuss before now we get into the other conversation. Why is it not possible to take a cruise ship from Mombasa to Lamu?
It is. It's possible.
You can do that today?
It's possible. The only thing is that, you know, we have a cruise terminal.
Yes, we have a cruise terminal.
At the port, at Kenya Port Authority. There's a full cruise terminal there. And it's like an airport. And this is why I was talking about us highlighting what we have, then the investors come in. Because now the investor is a cruise ship. So we need to identify 2 or 3 that can make the Mombasa Cruise Terminal their home. They may not be Kenyan cruise ships, but they can be domiciled there. And they
Mombasa
can take you up and down. So it is possible. It's just a matter of now, because in this conversation we never really went into investments, which maybe the next time you invite us we can discuss.
Very good. Before I dismiss the class, who has a minute to tell people that they can also go to they don't have to go to Dubai to do desert safari. They can actually do the same here in Kenya, in a place called the Chalbi Desert, which is in Marsabit County. It's in
Marsabit. Like I said earlier, the original desert safari is Kenyan. It was undertaken in Marsabit, and you had 2 elements. You had what you are calling desert dune drives, and then you had walking camel treks, where you'd sit on camels and walk for days by camel, and you sleep under the stars. And it is
doing stargazing.
Yes, you do stargazing. And there are some people who have started now doing proper stargazing in this country. I think Sopa Lodges is doing stargazing, and so is Heritage Hotels in Kipungani. So you can do stargazing. We did not even touch on that side and touch on Lake Turkana, which is a whole different ball game altogether. So, like I said, we can speak here about...
spend the whole day here discussing about...
whole day.
And that's the beauty of this country, that you can get anything you want in this country. I mean, you don't have to venture out. We have everything. If you want to do shopping tourism, you can just do it here. We have some of the best malls that Africa has to offer. You have the Rift Valley, you have the beach, you have the mountains, you have the forest. You can get everything here. That's the conversation that we are going to have next. Mike and Fred, what a great morning to be with you and spend a few time, you know, about 1 hour or so with you, you know, discussing nothing more about the beauty of this country. And we just want to encourage people, let's take time to explore this beautiful nation. You can even do helicopter tourism. You just hop onto a helicopter, you spend the whole day, you know, viewing beautiful places that will just blow your mind. Go to West Pokot. Beautiful, amazing, it's heaven there. Your time is highly appreciated.
Thank you very much.
The next conversation is coming up next, and it's also on tourism, but this time around, medical.